Hi everyone, it's Alison Wood here from Niche Life Success, and today I'm going to be talking about the tool Keyword. This is so amazing for helping you to really grow your blog because it helps you with keyword research, etc. So today I'm going to be looking at 6 ways to use this tool. Now, I've been blogging since 2009. I have a number of niche blogs. A lot has changed over that period, but what has remained always true is good research, good keyword research. So that's what we're going to be diving in today. Now, if you haven't used keyword research, you can try it out. It's actually $17 a month, and I do have a coupon below for 20% off. So if you want to check that out, that will be in the description. Now, you might be thinking, well, you don't want to pay anything. That's fair enough. There are other tools out there that give you some sort of low cost or free access. I think Uber suggests you can do 3 free searches a day, so you can always check that out. It is a much cheaper tool than some of the other keyword research things like the paid version of Uber Suggest, Ahrefs, all those kind of things, some of which can be around $99 a month. So I find this perfect for what I need, and let's dive in and show you a bit more around the site. Okay, so here we are in the site, and I'm going to just show you a few things today. I'm actually going to follow this up with some more in-depth sort of guides to this, but today I just want to show you some of the broad things that you can do. So one of the first things is brainstorming. So this is brilliant if you've got a kind of a broad idea of what you want to write about, and it gives you lots of different keyword ideas that you can then dive into deeper and see what the sort of competition is with those. Now, if you haven't used keywords before and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, check back for the further videos on this because I will be going into that in much more depth. But basically, a keyword is a topic that you are writing about that can help you show up in the search engines. Now, we try to go for slightly longer tail keywords because those have less competition. So let me give you an example of that. If you searched cat, you would get millions and millions of search queries when you searched for it to look through. But if you then searched for cat bed, you'd get fewer returns on your search. And then if you put in like best cat bed, you get even fewer returns. So all the time we're trying to balance the fact that we want people looking for our keyword. However, we don't want so much competition that we are not going to stand a chance of showing up in, say, Google. Now, as I say, I'll be diving into that more in the later videos. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect opportunity to do that. But let's just start with that. And let's put in cat bed. So this is the brainstorming one. So then it gives you the sort of different areas. So there's Google, Yahoo, Bing, and YouTube. So really what this is doing is it's giving you some ideas like outdoor cat bed. I might not have thought about that. Or elevated cat bed. Now you can note down these, or you can actually click on it and then look through and look at the difficulty and the research. So that's one way of doing it. This might just give you some broad ideas. I use this because sometimes I've run out of ideas of what to write about on my blog. So what I want to do is I want to just send me off in some different directions. So even things like cat bed heater or DIY cat bed, I might not have even ever thought of that, but I could perhaps do a roundup post of other people's DIY cat beds that they've done on other blogs and things like that. So it's another way to connect with bloggers. So that's the very first way, and that is brainstorming. So the second way is the Explorer. Now I'm going to use this now for my site, but you actually use this on competitors' sites or other sites that you want to look at. So I'm going to just put in pethooligans.com, which is my site. I'm going to select the entire domain and I'm going to click search. Now this comes up with the domain strength, the score to target, and that will make more sense to you when we look at keyword research. But you can see that it's telling me to look at 35 and under, shows me backlinks and referring domains. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm not going to go through everything because I'm just going to show you perhaps one of the key areas. So down here you can see organic keywords. So if you click on view keywords, that brings me up a list of all the keywords I'm already ranking for organically. So that means I'm not running ads to them. They're just showing up in the search engines. I think most of the time it's Google on this one. And then it goes through. So you can see your position in Google. You can see the volume of traffic, and that is per month. The traffic I'm getting from that per month, and the difficulty score. And again, we'll come on to that later. So you can see, if you're not sure, you're writing lots of blog posts, you're not sure where things are appearing, this is the quickest way to have a look through, see how you're doing. Now you can also see that if I ran this on someone else's site, that is going to give me some good ideas for keywords as well. So that's just my site, and I'm going to look at the competitive analysis in a second to show you other people's sites. But again, you can run that on any site that you want to. Now obviously you don't go after every single keyword that other people are using, but it can give you some good ideas, particularly if you see some ones with a low score. And again, that will make more sense when we come on to the research. So that's the second way, which is the Explorer. And as I said, the third way is the competitive analysis. So let's come down to, there's lots of things in here. And as I said, I'm not going to go through all of them. It will take us all day. But we're going to go to organic keywords. And the site I'm going to go in is not really a site I know. It's just I quickly Googled a pet blog and came up with this one. So we're going to look for that. So we're going to go by rank. All this means is there's rank, traffic and volume, and it's just the order they appear in. So we're just going to go for rank, first of all, entire domain and search. Oh, maybe that is not the right one. Nope, let me pause this a second. Okay, so my mistake, it's actually called My Petist. So we're going to click on that to search, and here you can see the position that this keyword, so this is all the keywords that are showing up for this site that are ranking organically. You can see the position, the volume and the traffic. So obviously because we chose rank, it does them in order. So we've only got 26 here to look through, but have a look through, and maybe it's something that you could outrank this site for. I mean, it's not necessarily about this site, it's just about sites that you can get some ideas for more longer tailed keywords. For example, parrot body language. I perhaps would never have, even thought of writing an article on that, but you can see that the score is quite low. And remember, we were looking for anything 35 and under for my site. So you can see that's quite a good one. The rest are actually quite competitive, so that might not be a good one. Other ones might not be good ones to go for. But you could go through any site and have a look for these. Choose big sites that are in your niche and just have a look through and see if there's anything that you can outrank them for. So that's the, that's the second way. The third way, competitive analysis. And number 4 is keyword research. Now this is probably the best way that I use this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look at this briefly, but then later this week I'm going to do a more in-depth one on this. So let's just put in cat bed as we did before. You check the area that you want to look at it for. I've actually done the wrong one there. Should be Google Suggest and the country. Now, even though I'm in the UK, I write mainly for the US, so I will always choose US, but you can choose whatever your location is that you're looking for. So we're just going to run that again. Google Suggest. And over here, you can see at the top it puts the keyword in that you asked it to look for, and then it comes up with a whole lot of others. So most of the time the main one I put in will be too competitive, but what I like to do is look through and see if there's anything else that I can use. Now the main thing I'm looking at is the score first of all. The volume, yes, but the score mostly, because if it's, you know, it might have 8,000 people, but if the score is red, which means it's very unlikely that I can rank for it, I'm not going to choose that. So I click up here on score, and then I put them in order. Now, if it hasn't found a lot of them, which this one hasn't, you can always click on any of these and it will bring it up. It'll just take a couple of seconds to do that. So what we're going to do is let's this probably isn't the best one. Let's put in best cat bed. I wanted it to bring it up so it brought up most of them, and again it's not doing it. Let's try something completely different. It's probably because I looked this up this morning. So let's put in bed for large dog. Let's see what that comes up with. Again, it's not going to find a lot of them for me. So you can always just click through. I tend to order them. Once I've clicked through all the ones I want, then I will order them and see which is the lowest competition. Now you're looking for either blue or green. Blue is the very lowest competition, which means it will be easier for you to rank, and green is always good. I avoid the amber and the red because they're just going to be too difficult for me to rank for. So once I've clicked through a few of those, I click on score, obviously the most difficult ones at the top. And then here, I'm not sure why it's not doing those in order. We'll go down. So then I'm going to look at all the green ones. So why do big dogs like small beds? Best dog bed for large dogs with arthritis. What size dog bed do I need? That could be a good one. The volume is 50 and the score is 29. Look down. If I was an affiliate for PetSmart, I might do something with that. And burrow bed for large dogs. There's a few here that could be good for me. Best dog bed for large dogs with hip problems. So you want some volume, but I don't worry too much about that. I mean, obviously if it's higher volume and lower competition, that's good, then I'd go for that. However, there's lots of things that you can do here. So as I say, check back in later in the week because I'm going to go into this in much more detail. There's a lot to show you in here, including the analysis of the top ranking URLs. But as I say, it's going to take me too long to go through that today. So check back and we'll go through that. Now, we've done the keyword research. Number 5 is lists. So what I want to show you here is if I find some things that are potential, I could click through, you know, any that are green or any that I'm interested in, and you can then, save keywords, select list, or add to new list. So I'm just going to create a new list that says dog beds and add to list. Okay, and then you can always go back to your lists up here, keyword research, my lists. You can see I've got a few in here, dog beds, gifts for Pinterest shampoo, and that's one of my other sites. So I can always check back in, and then once you're finished, you can always get rid of them. But it's such a handy way of like collecting a few together and then going in and saying, you know what, actually, this is the lowest competition. It's 50 people are searching per month. The lowest competition, I'm going to go for that one. Then I would obviously write my blog post about that. And later in the week, I'm also going to show you where you use your keywords in your blog posts. So that was the 5th one, lists. And then the last one, another important one, is rank tracking. So this is when you've written your blog post, you can add here, on the lowest level you get 80 keywords to be tracked. So all you need to do is to add a new keyword. You can add, you can look at what keywords they've found for your site and then you can track them, or you can add keywords. Then you just click on there, type your keyword in. And then what you can do is keep a track of your keywords and how they're doing, how they're performing. So what I do is, this is not all my keywords, it's usually my most recent ones, because I want to see how they're performing, how they're going up and down. Now Google has had an update recently, so things are very volatile. So it's not probably the best time to show you this, but you can see how handy it is, and you can see even from day to day how things are moving up and down. Now say for example this one, English versus American Cocker Spaniel, that's been up at number 1, now it's down at 51 because of the update, but it will slowly start to rise back up again. So this is just a way of me keeping an eye on it, seeing where things are, and it's super handy to know where your keywords, particularly if it's a relatively new blog post. If it's been there a while, then it will have often fallen into its place, and you can keep an eye on it, definitely, and I usually do that through the keyword research, the Explorer one that I showed you earlier. But for newer ones, when they're quite newly written and you just want to see how they're getting on, how they're performing, so that's another great one to do. So if you've enjoyed this, check back later. We'll be going into keyword research in much more detail. And let me just go through the things that we covered today. So the first way you can use it is to brainstorm. The second way is the Keyword Explorer, where you can see, the Explorer, where you can see all your organic keywords for your site or anybody else's. The third way is the competitive analysis, another good way of coming up with keyword ideas. Number 4 is keyword research. Number 5 is lists. And number 6 is rank tracking. As I say, there is a link to Keysearch below this video. There is a 20% off coupon, and I'll see you next time with more detail on how to find good keywords and where to use those in your blog posts. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.